Who the fuck did I marry? So sit down and grab a snack, a drink, whatever you want. But I will say though, as much as this is an ex, this is our actual person. So please do not try and find this person. Please do not try and message them to send them hate or anything, okay? This is our entertainment. You've all been asking, but respect that, okay? Now, where do we begin? I have all of the law on my laptop. So... for the little backstory first, how did we meet? Okay, we was friends for, I'd say, I always used to say we was best friends before we got together. I would merely say friends. I wouldn't really say best friends. I think I was just trying to romanticize a relationship a little bit too much. I have a tendency to do that. But I would say friends for maybe 2 years, but then he had a girlfriend and then we didn't really speak too much. So then they break up and he messages me. I want to now say basically straight away. I thought it was at least like a month or two after. Anyways, so at first I ignored it. I was like, ain't no way. But I also was friends with him. We did get along really well. So, I mean, I wasn't going to completely ignore him. So I started talking to him again as a friend at first. But I also did kind of like him at the same time, you know what I mean? So we started talking a little bit again. And then we all went out on a night out in our hometown. I can't remember why it was for, but everyone was out that night and he was out and I was out. So we ended up being together all night and everything. And then the week after, so this was on a Saturday, the week after we planned our first date. I say we... I'm going to take the credit for the date, okay? And the rest of them. But anyways, so we go on a date the next Saturday. On the said date, his ex's friends were messaging him being like, what are you doing? It's been 2 weeks. I can't believe you're already on a date. Now I'm stood there like, what the fuck? Bearing in mind, I'm thinking it's been like 2 months at least, okay? At least. So I'm like, surely they're lying. Like, they have to be lying, you know? I'm like, oh my God, it's an ex. They're lying. That should have been my first, like, run. But I will say the first few dates were really fun. We went on 5 dates, but it was only like a month of dating. And then he made me his girlfriend. Now, I wasn't shocked that he made me his girlfriend after 5 dates, like 4 weeks, like a month, because we had known each other previously. Like, I knew who he was. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a, whoa. But... And then after he did make me his girlfriend, things kind of slowed down. He was like, you know what? I have you now. I'm not going to make any more effort. But because I was so like in a like love bubble, I wasn't really like paying attention. I was so happy I didn't really notice this start to happen. It's to Brock because you know what? If she didn't hear a series, I probably wouldn't be here. Like I said, he made me his girlfriend after a month and after him and his ex had been broken up for, I don't even want to say 2 months anymore. I literally do not know the timeline. So if anyone does, let me know. Anyways, so after 2 months, the effort went... Like, it wasn't even, to be fair, it wasn't even gradual. It literally just, boom. Every single thing we did, I planned. And I'm not being funny. I do like being a little planner, okay? But I also like to be appreciated and taken out. Like, I don't want to be paying and organising every single day. I will say, little brownie points that he will receive. He downloaded TikTok specifically to watch my TikToks. And when I did reach 100k, he did celebrate that with me. But other than that... So yeah, at first he was really supportive of my TikTok and everything. It was like at the beginning where I just started, like I wasn't really posting too much. But after 2 months, okay, he never mentioned like going on a date. He never mentioned like going out for lunch or anything like that. Like literally nothing. All he wanted to do was lie in bed and sleep. There were a few personal issues, which I'm obviously not going to go into because that's not fair at all, that I do think affected him. But no excuse, okay? Like kind of, but at the same time, like I have some personal issues, okay? I have some family issues. It doesn't like affect how I treat people. Anyways, so he would always say that he has no money, he's tired, blah, 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 like never would initiate to want to go out with me or want to see me, etc. But when his friends were like, hey, do you want to go to the pub? He'd be like, boom, like faster than lightning. Now, I am not saying that he can't see his friends, okay? I'm not saying... No, because it makes me really angry. I'm saying don't like rush to always want to see your friends. Bear in mind, this is 2 months in, by the way. Like, I fear. Don't rush to go and always want to see your friends, but when it comes to your girlfriend, not want to do anything and say like you have no money or like you're tired, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so he would literally just sleep the weekends away. By the way, I'm just reading off this because if I don't, I'm going to sidetrack. And bear in mind, we would only see each other on the weekends, okay? So like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But when I do say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I mean... When he would come to mine, it would be like 9 p.m. on the Friday and leave at like 12 p.m. on the Sunday. It's actually not funny, but also hilarious. But bearing in mind as well, he would just sleep all weekend. So like realistically, I was actually never really seeing him. Did I even have a boyfriend? What are the past 2 years? Like I said, he would literally just sleep the full weekends. By the way, this went on for 2 years. And you wonder why I'm speaking about it, okay? I went insane. I was depressed. Moving on. By the way, like I mentioned in my other video, I'm not blaming him for everything. Don't take this as like I fucking hate him. I don't hate him, okay? This is just for entertainment. So before everyone starts sending it, being like, oh my god, your ex is crazy. Okay, well, literal men make women crazy. Okay. January 19th, 2023, I first text my mum, I don't want to be with him anymore. Bear in mind, this is 7 months in. I had spent a oh my god, amount of money on his birthday trip, his birthday presents, everything. I honestly went above and beyond for this boy, like I would with anyone. Like, it's not just him. Like, I literally just, I love giving so much. Like, there's nothing that I wouldn't give to him. Like, I always went above and beyond, I think, anyway. And I don't think anyone can ever say that I didn't, you know what I mean? Anyways, I don't really know why I was saying this, because I was like reading back the text with my mum and it didn't really explain why. I think maybe we rang or something. But the main factor throughout our entire relationship that I always brought up, and it was always something new and it was always causing an argument, was that I didn't feel appreciated because he never really wanted to spend time with me. He never wanted to take me out. He never wanted to just, I don't know how to describe it, just like make me feel like he didn't hate me, you know? And I think at this point, like, this is after 7 months, it should have just ended here, but here we are. I always never give up on people. And anyway, anytime I'd say like how I felt or like this happened, blah 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 blah, he'd always like invalidate it and make me feel like I was causing an argument, even though I was just like saying how I felt. Was I perfect? Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. I'm never gonna sit here and say I was the most perfect girlfriend, I was perfect, I did nothing wrong. Okay, there was issues on my end as well. I'm not saying there wasn't, but when I'm repeating the same issue over and over and over and over again and nothing's getting resolved, it kind of falls on you then. Anytime I'd cry, be upset, anything like that, he'd literally just sit there and stare at me, not say anything, or sometimes laugh because he felt awkward and couldn't deal with emotions. So the amount of times I'd go to his or like he comes to mine and we'd literally just sit in bed all weekend, I'd get upset and then he'd be like, why are you crying? Was uncanny, okay? Like, sometimes I'd walk into the bathroom at his and just cry. And then I was thinking like, oh shit, why am I crying? Like, I then started to invalidate my feelings and then started to just bottle everything up, which is 10 times worse. Don't do that. I was also like feeling a little bit bad, but then I'm like, well, also I'm not lying. So deep breaths. Let's carry on. I moved to Manchester in June 2023. And I genuinely thought when I moved to Manchester, oh my god, we're in the city centre. We can literally go on date nights every weekend. We can do this, we can do that. Like, it doesn't have to be loads of money, but we can still like do loads of fun stuff together. Wrong. I fear things actually just got even worse, okay? Because apparently a 25-minute drive, like a half an hour train, is really far away. But when you're getting into bed straight away from work, instead of coming and seeing your girlfriend on the weekend when that's the only time you see her, maybe that's why you're tired. And I'd always be like, hey, like, when you coming? Like, it would get to like 8 p.m, 9 p.m, and he'd be like, oh, I'm just in bed relaxing, like, I'll come in my own time. And I'm just like, okay. Like, it's fine that you hate me, like, it's fine. Like, for me, if I had just finished a long week of work, okay, I'm exhausted, I'm like, do you know what I really want to do right now? I want to go and see my boyfriend. That's what I would think. And when I've asked people about this, they also seem to think that. So then I'm like, okay, it's not just me that's like, you know. Both had all week to ourselves, which, don't get me wrong, I kind of like, because I could do all my stuff during the week, and then the full weekend, like Friday to Saturday, so Sunday, we just have together. So it was like nice to like have that break, you know. But when you're not even getting like a full weekend, you know, I don't know. And like anytime I'd bring out like moving out or like even just like a little conversation about like future and stuff, it would kind of just get like shut down. Do not get me wrong, I know we was 19, 20 and 21 when we was together. That's like really fucking young. But also like I know people that are my age and in a relationship who do talk about those things. But that was never a major thing to me. It just kind of lingered. He was also the most chilled out person like I genuinely you could ever meet, which, don't get me wrong, I would prefer that any day over someone who is controlling and like tell me this, tell me that, whatever. But I could tell this boy that I was going away for a year and he'd be like, cool. If my boyfriend told me I'm going away for a year, we're not going to see each other, I would not be like, okay, cool. I'd be like, do you not love me? Like, what's happening? Anyway, so he eventually just stopped caring about my job, about like I'd reached like 200 and 300k, no mention of that. But at 100k, he bought me a teddy, he bought balloons, like he did the whole nine, like, you know what I mean? But like suddenly it was just nothing. He never knew what I was posting, he never knew what I was doing, like ever, unless I told him. And my mozzarella dippers are done, but we'll get on to New Year's Eve. Now in January 2024, it's his friend's birthday. All the girlfriends are invited, the boys are invited. Does that make sense? All the boys' girlfriends are invited. Wait, you know what I mean. They're all invited, okay? I later find out that they were all invited at the exact same time. When did I find out? The day before. Almost like you didn't want me there. Yeah, anyways, even though my friends were going to be there. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So on this day, it's like 8 p.m. and I'm like, hey, like, where are you? Like, it's Friday, you know? Like, hello? I'm thinking he's like in an Uber, on the train, whatever it is. Like, I'm thinking he's on his way. And it's just getting later and later and later. And I'm like, do you know what? Like, don't come. So I'm just like left there crying all night, just being like, oh my God. Bear in mind, no, I didn't tell a soul about this. Like, literally, Alexa play Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish, you know what I mean? Like, not a soul knew. Like, my mum knew things, but I feel like no one knew everything. But none of my friends knew everything because I just didn't tell anyone anything because I felt like there was no point, you know? So I just kept it to myself. So the next day is the party, okay? Do I accidentally drink 2 bottles of wine? Maybe. But can you blame a girl? No, okay? So we get to this party, well, I get to the party, he turns up with everyone else, and then I get to the party later, I think? I don't actually know. But I'm annoyed because he hasn't really spoke to me. I feel like we did speak a little bit, but then like, you know, being a girl, do you know what, to be fair, I kind of take credit for, I was a little bit of a bitch and I just did not speak to it. But also kind of valid, but also, you know. See, this is what I mean. I'm not claiming to be like the world's best girlfriend ever. I really wasn't, but at the same time, did I only react when like he did stuff wrong? Maybe. But he was telling everyone that we weren't speaking because he didn't come to mine on time. And I was like, boy, that is not the reason why we're not talking, okay? It is months and months and months, even a year at this point, of built up stuff. But anyways, he then leaves, doesn't tell anyone, and he's supposed to be sleeping mine. And I'm like, hey everyone, like, where is he? He's just like gone home. Me and my mum, like, I go back to my mum's like crying, being like, I don't know where he is. We are ringing him, like, I'm not even kidding. I think I rang him like 30 times. My mum rang him like 30 times, like genuinely no answer at all. So I'm like, wait, something's up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking the worst. I'm thinking like he's died, he's been knocked over, you know? That's not funny, but it didn't happen. So like, it's fine. So I was worried all night. Bear in mind, I'm also literally obliterated at this rate. That's my own doing. That's nothing to do with anyone. So I ring him the next day and he's out and I'm like, do you not want to sort this? And he's like, what? So I'm not allowed to go out now. And I'm like, girl, that's not what I'm saying, okay? I'm saying you don't want to like sort this out. Like, no. Anyway, he hangs up the phone and I'm just like, hello? My mum ends up dropping me off at his and we talk and he kind of just is awkward and just like doesn't really know what to say. And like at this point I'm like, why are we actually together? And I feel like this is kind of a mutual thing now. I feel like he would kind of agree with this. Like we just kind of stayed together. I don't know. Now this for me is just, this is where it gets hilarious. Little backstory, there's a lad's holiday that's going to happen. It's for his friend's birthday. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. Like, they're literally, you know what I mean? I'm not really bothered about a lad's holiday. I'm like, cool, it's your first lad's holiday. Crack on, whatever. It is later revealed that there are 6 girls going on this holiday that I do not know. And I'm like, cool. Not with the boys. They're not the boys' girlfriends. They are just uni friends, I think. By the way, that's no shade to the girls. I don't know who you are. You don't know who I am. I really don't care. This is just for the story. And I never said a thing about this, even though this made me so incredibly uncomfortable. The fact that you would want to willingly go on a holiday with 6 girls that you do not know on a lad's holiday. But, you know, here we are. Crack on. Anyway, this leads me to a night out where I met him. When was this? This was pretty recent. You can probably tell if you go on my spam account TikTok where I was crying. There's a lot. But here we are. So he comes to mine this night, okay? I already know he's going out, so I made his tea for him. I made his tea for him. ready for when he literally opens the door. Anyway, so he eats his tea, he gets an Uber, and he goes out on a lads' night out because uni's finished or whatever. He was meeting 3 lads that had finished uni. I don't really know. He had never been to uni, so he was just meeting his friends basically. So I just had a few cocktails. Okay, I was watching YouTube. A lot of people had posted. I was like, slay, this is a great Friday night. Then I was getting a little tipsy. I was like, hey, like, can I meet you? Like, is there any girls there? You know, like that, you know? He was like, no, it's just boys. It wasn't, but okay. Anyway, I ended up meeting them out and there is literally everyone there, like everyone. And I was like, okay, like, but why lie? Like, I'm not going to be like, no, you can't go. You know, you know what I mean? I'm like, just don't lie to me. It's just that simple. Anyway, so I meet them, we're out. And by the way, like, he's having a really fun time. He was texting me saying like, oh yeah, it's such a good night, blah, 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 blah. I get there. After 20 minutes, he wants to go home. He stood there being like, no, I want to go home. I want to go home. And I'm like, are you fucking joking? Like, I literally just bought my bloody Prosecco. So I end up leaving my Prosecco, okay, and walking and getting an Uber home. That Prosecco was a fallen soldier, I swear. But then I'm like, I've literally just got here. Like, your girlfriend has literally just got here. Why do you suddenly just want to go home? Like, is it because, like, you don't want me with these people? I don't know. Anyways, then comes the weekend before the famous, infamous holiday. When it first comes into play, it's like announced that it's going to be like on May time. Our anniversary is the 21st of May. I go to him, make sure like it's not the 21st of May, you know, like so we don't miss that. He says, I don't care about anniversaries. They don't mean anything to me. Anyways, I was just like, oh, okay, let's go. Anyways, so now he would just use this lad's holiday as an excuse not to do anything because he was saving for it. I actually don't know how much it ended up being, but anyway. And there was always, I'd be like, oh no, it's fine, like I'll pay for our date nights, whatever. Like, I do not care about paying, by the way. Let me just preface this, I don't care about paying. If we're in a relationship together, we're in a relationship together. This is not me being like, give my money back, I don't care. Like, I don't want to pay, I wouldn't offer, you know? I just wanted to spend time with my boyfriend. That's all I ever wanted, okay? To be appreciated and to spend time with him. That's all I ever wanted, okay? Anyways, the weekend before this lad's holiday rolls around real quick. I go to his, I literally get an Uber straight away. Like, as soon as I know that he's like come home from work, I get an Uber. Apparently that was a problem because he wanted to spend time alone, but anyway. So in the Uber there, I'm like, oh, like, should we go for lunch tomorrow? Like, nothing major. Like, I know you're obviously going away on Monday, I think it was. Just to, like, spend time with each other so we're not just, like, stuck in all weekend because we're not going to see each other for a week because you'd only see me on the weekend. And he's like, no, I can't. Like, I'm going away. Like, I can't do that. So I'm just like, right. Okay. Like, bear in mind, I've had, like, 2 years of this. Like, of just, like, I don't want to basically do anything with you. So I get there roughly about 6 p.m. or something. We go to M&S, we get some food, we go back to his, I make my tea, we watch X on the Beach, I want to say. He falls asleep at 8 p.m. this night, okay? 8 p.m. 8 p.m. He wakes up the next day at 12 p.m. That is 16 hours. I'm like, do you know what? If you hate me, just say, because all I'm getting right now is you couldn't actually stand to be with me. But here we are. So I'm like, great, this is like a really good last weekend together, which it actually ended up being our last weekend together, so even better. We go to the shop for some lunch, we eat that, and then he goes to sleep. I think this is roughly about 2 p.m. He goes to sleep till 5. And then I'm like, right, do you know what? I've actually had enough. Let me get my stuff. Courtney just pulled up in the driveway. It was my mum. I text my mum being like, girl, pick me up now. And this has happened so many times before, but this one I was like, I need to leave. Just as my mum pulls up outside, okay, he wakes up, he's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going home, have a nice lad's holiday. He's like, I will. I was like, no, where are you going? No, please stay, just, I will. I'm leaving his house because my mum's just come and pick me up. I'm like, have a nice holiday. I will. No, where are you going, Caitlin? Like, why are you leaving? Like, just, I will. Then he goes to the pub. Okay, he wanted a chilled weekend, like literally just get that tattooed on you at this point. Like, for me, a chilled weekend could be like walking the dogs. It could be like going for a little lunch, okay? It's not just lying in bed. Okay, that's what I do when I'm hungover. Anyway, so yeah, sleeps the whole time he's with me, but as soon as I leave, goes to the pub. Anyway, he didn't message me until like 10 p.m. that night, and he says, Okay, if you want to talk about this now, we can, but you are not ruining my lad's holiday tomorrow. I'm like, first of all, it's actually not a lad's holiday, it's actually Casa Amor. But here we are. Anyways, obviously it's the same old, same old. I'm like, you just don't appreciate me, you don't want to spend time with me, you're not making the effort that I want you to. Like, literally, girl, just fucking leave, like, leave. But it's the same old, and apparently I'm causing arguments, as per usual. It's something new every week. It's not, it's the same fucking thing every single week. Like, you just don't want to change. Here we are. Oh, and before this holiday was like, before he went, he said, I probably won't speak to you much on this holiday. Hilarious, okay? Apparently it was because he wanted to enjoy himself and enjoy his first lad's holiday, okay? Like, cool, you can enjoy your holiday and still text your girlfriend. Like, you don't need to actively say that. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, when I'm on holiday or when I'm with my friends, I don't really go on my phone. But I wouldn't actively be like, I'm probably actually not going to speak to you on this holiday. You know what I mean? Anyways. The holiday begins, okay, girls? And there are 4 things, key things that happen. Maybe multiple more, but 4 key things, okay? And by the way, can I actually just say, I've spoken to multiple people about this and everyone agrees with me. So I know that I'm not crazy. Even boys have agreed with me, okay? So I will not take crazy for an answer here. Like, maybe a little bit crazy, like maybe like Caitlin, get over it, but simply no, because it's hilarious and this is my job and simply I'm making money. Anyways, so the lad's holiday is for his friend's birthday, okay? And then there are 6 girls, 5 originally invited, and then 1 more person gets invited that the birthday boy is seeing or something. And I'm like, okay, kind of weird. But anyway, I only found out this at the end of the holiday. Anyways, so there is like 8 boys, I want to say. I think 3 had a girlfriend, including my ex. And then I think all the girls are single, but I'm not going to make any judgments because I don't actually know. They're like, I don't know. They're all staying in a villa together, okay? A villa. These girls don't know me. I don't know them. They have 0 loyalties to me. And I don't, do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, you actually do not at all. And this week, I was crying every single day. Sometimes things wouldn't even happen and I'd just be crying. And I was like, I think I've seen this film before. With previous boys that I've been with or whatever, I was crying for a week straight before we broke up. So I knew what was coming. So the 4 things that happen, okay? The first one is you're on a lad's holiday, okay? So one of the days he spends with 2 girls and a single boy. I'm assuming both of the girls were single. And I'm like, that's a double date, okay? You've come on this lad's holiday to spend time with your friends, your lad friends, but you are here with 2 girls that you do not know all day, okay? I'm like, first of all, why the fuck? Like, if I went on a holiday, a girl's holiday, why the fuck? Why would I want to spend time with people I do not know? So I call him out. I'm like, that's disrespectful. And he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, okay. And apparently I'm being childish and ruining his holiday. Okay, you're probably going to see an ongoing theme here. Apparently I ruined his entire holiday by just simply existing. So he's basically at Casa Amor right now, okay? This lad's holiday with 6 girls. Also, because I do have a conscience, I just want to say no shade to the girls. I do not know them. They do not know me. No bad blood. I literally don't care. Just in case you're watching, because I can guarantee this is being sent into every single group chat possible. Hey! So he was going to get back on the Sunday and our anniversary, 2-year anniversary, was on the Tuesday. So all week I'm making little hints. I'm like, oh, like, what should I do for Tuesday? Like, oh, what are we doing? And he's not really taking the hints, okay? He's not really like understanding. So I'm like, right, fuck it. My mum was like, Caitlin, just leave it and see if like he says anything or like if he makes plans or anything. And if he doesn't, then like, you know, it's the end. I was like, no, mum, like, I'm just going to ask him, okay? I was like, girl, like, you know, it's our 2-year anniversary on Tuesday. He's like, yeah, I just like, I've been busy. Like, I've had this holiday. Like, I've just not thought about it. And I'm like, oh, you're okay. Like, no worries. I'll literally just jump out my 16 flight fucking apartment while you're off enjoying Casa Amor. Anyway, so nothing had been booked. No presents had been bought. Nothing, okay? I'm like, this is literally like a week before our 2-year anniversary. It's not like it's 2 weeks. It's not like it's 2 months. It's 2 years at this point. It should have never been 2 years. But here we are. Okay, the third thing that happens was him and a girl follow each other on Instagram. And I'm like, kind of strange. Because for me personally, okay, your boyfriend can have girlfriends, okay? That's not an issue. That's not an issue. But when you're in a relationship and he is actively making new friends that are girls, that's when it's sus. If you've been friends with them before we got together, cool, whatever, like that's your friend, whatever. But if you are making like you are actually making effort to like be friends with these people. Why? I'm not saying don't be nice, obviously, like don't be a dickhead, you know what I mean? But for me, if I'm going on a girls' holiday and there's lads there, all I want to be is with the girls. I'm not making effort with the boys. I'll be nice. I'll be like, hey, cool, whatever. So I'm like, why did you follow each other? And like at this point, I'm like, this is just like, bear in mind, no one still knows about this situation, okay, except my mom. So I'm literally speaking to no one about it. I'm driving myself insane. And he was like, oh, everyone followed each other. I'm like, well, they didn't, because it was just her that you followed. And like, you have a whole ass girlfriend of 2 years, but here we are. And then the bit that just, when I've showed this to people, they're like, I find the girls that are on this lad's holiday, okay, aka budget Casa Amor. Again, no shade to the girls, okay? All good. I don't know who you are, to be honest. So I'm there. I'm like, right, my intuition is on right now, okay? It's been on the entire holiday, aka why I've been crying the entire time you're away, you know? I find one of the girls. I click on her story, okay? And there's a little collage. Beautiful collage, by the way. And one of the photos, okay, it's a lovely pool photo, okay? My ex is smack bang in the middle. My ex is smack bang in the middle, like this. Put your arms down. Anyways, there is 6 girls around him, basically clinging on. And there's maybe 3 other lads like at this side, but all the girls are like around him, okay? So I screenshot it. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Bear in mind, okay, and I will preface that I have shown this to people and that I know that I am not crazy with this. Okay. I send it to him and I go, hello? I'm like, I can't believe you've done this. This is really disrespectful. And he goes, it's a photo in a pool. I'm like, well, I fucking gathered that. Like, probably let me actually just put my glasses on to actually visually see it properly. I'm like, are you for real? Like, in fact, one moment, let me just get my phone, like, so I can read the messages to you. I go, really? How could you actually do this to me? I feel so disrespected in a pool with 6 girls. I'm actually so hurt. I never thought you'd do this to me. Are you joking? We was all in the pool. I tried to trust you and you do this. What? Go swimming? And he goes, it's literally a picture. We was all drunk. And I was like, that? First of all, that does not make things any better. In fact, probably makes them worse. I'm like, what happened next? Is there like a live photo that I can see by any chance? I would love to see that actually. Anyways, I'd already made plans for his sister to go out like a week previously. So we was going out on the Saturday. Bear in mind, this had happened on the Saturday, I think. This had happened on the Saturday. We was going out like near his house. So I was going to his to see his sister and then we was going out and we was going back to his. And he specifically goes, do not stay over. I want to be on my own. This is before, by the way, before all of this, like before any argument whatsoever. He's like telling me, do not be at my house when I get back from this holiday. What did I do? I stayed up. I slept in your bed. I should have gone home, but I'm not going to lie to you. I had a few little Aperol Spritz and I was tired and I wanted a bed. I'm not going to lie, my mum was asleep and I didn't want to get an Uber home. Simple as that. Anyway, so I leave the next day, my mum picks me up. I'm just in tears. Bearing in mind now, we've not spoke for, I want to say 24 hours. I don't know where, like, I don't know what's happening. The last message he said was like, I just can't do this anymore. It's relentless. It's the same thing every single time. He's actually not from Yorkshire. Maybe we should just give him a Yorkshire accent for this video, okay? Every time I do a Yorkshire accent, that's him. But essentially, he's broken up with me at this point. But I was like, hang on a minute. You've actually not broken up with me. My mum drops me off at his. He actually doesn't know, but I saw his location was at home. So I was like, Mum, pull up, let's go. So I just knock on. He opens the door and he's like, what are you doing here? Wait, sorry. What are you doing here? And I'm like, can we talk? Bear in mind, just picture this, okay? Cried for, what, a week straight. I've got my sunglasses. I'm in just pajamas and sliders with socks. He's probably like, thank fuck I got rid of her. He's like, thank fuck actually. Don't ever come back. Anyways, so I basically we chat. It was the weirdest thing ever. Because like I knew we weren't together. So it was just like, it was strange. But essentially his reasoning was, sorry I wrote it down here. He wasn't happy anymore. and that he just can't do this anymore. And I'm like, right, there is a piece of this puzzle missing, okay? Because you've been acting strange for months, love. Wait, this is me actually talking now. I'm like, did anything happen on this holiday? He's like, no. You can ask anyone who's there. Like, they'll all tell you nothing happened. I'm like, first of all, at this point, I do not trust you. Why the fuck would I trust anyone else? Obviously, they're going to stick up for you. Are you dumb? But obviously, I believe this. Because genuinely, like, hand on heart at the time, I didn't think anything did happen. Now, I don't know. If anyone does know, I'd love to know. But he's just not looking at me in the eyes at all. Like, it is the most awkward thing ever. He starts cleaning the house. Like, instead of speaking to me, bear in mind, his mum was actually getting home from her holiday as well. So, like, he did want to keep the house clean. But, like, at the same time, like, come on, like, you can do this when I leave. I'm not going to stay there all day. And then, like, the day after we break up, he follows all of the girls from the holiday on Instagram. Almost like he was waiting to do it. But, like, kind of, I think he knew he wanted to break up with me.